Welcome to Legal Matters. As soon as you can share the program for us. As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Yes, today we are going to be looking at immigration and nationality law. We will also be looking at employment law, some of the don'ts, some of the stuff that goes on at the workplace that sometimes people think is a normal behavior that lands them in trouble. We are going to be looking at examples of these and the advice and the wisdom in talking about this stuff, because there are things that people take it for granted, things that are abnormal. But for some reason, some people are trying to justify the normality of the abnormality. So we are going to be talking about this for you to come to reality and the realization of how it can lead you into trouble and potential dismissal. These things are things that when we mentioned, you think is so common and so simple that anyone with a brain cell is supposed to know that it's something that you ought not to do. But yet again, people are getting fired every now and then because of some of these basic, simple madness that people do at their workplaces. So today is just a reminder that be aware, be very careful at the workplace. I always say to people, no one is your friend at workplace. You are the captain of your own destiny and you are the captain of your own ship. As to either you hit the rock or you sail, it's all down to you and how you carry yourself and what you do. It's very, very, very important that you are aware of these things. Because at the end of the day, when things go wrong, you have to live with the consequences. When you are facing the sack, no one will come forward and fight for you. That one, you must bear that in mind. Because when it comes to survival, it's everyone's instinct to do whatever they can to survive. And therefore, if you find yourself in trouble at the workplace, your work colleague will be thinking about his or her survival. How do I survive? And what is it that I need to do to survive? They will not think about you. They will not think of your interest. So when people are encouraging you, do this, do that, and you know that it is wrong. You know it's something, it's a taboo, something that you must not do. You cannot be influenced to do them things. And then later on, when you are in trouble, the same people who encourage you to do it, they will not come forward and fight for you. You will be in trouble by yourself. I've seen cases that people are facing disciplinary. Even a work colleague to accompany this individual. Nobody wanted to know. And these were the same people who were encouraging him to go forward, challenge the manager, do this, don't do that, don't agree to this, and so on and so forth. But when it mattered, they simply folded, and the person had to face the management on his own. So this is the reason why I said that at the workplace, no one is your friend. You have to survive or you sink. And therefore, it's important that some of this stuff that we're going to be talking about today is sinking, and we use it to basically as a guide, so that we don't fall foul to some of these problems that a lot of people face. We will also be looking at immigration update. Definitely, we'll be looking at immigration update. Major immigration rule changes from 22nd of July 2025. What employers must know now. and we will also talk a bit about immigration procedures that you must know. Of late, there has been an announcement about changes to the immigration rules, and we have had a lot of people, especially on TikTok, giving false information. I say be very, very careful who you listen to, because there are very few voices of reasonings. People who will be honest with you, whether you like it or not. At least they will be honest. They will not be dubious. They will not be they will not be deceitful. They will just be straight with you, so that you know where you stand. And for me, I think it's the best philosophy, because if you are straight with people, you have a clear mind and a clear conscience, and you can be asked the same question about 50 times, your answer will remain the same, because the truth never changes. So it's very, very important. For me, I will say to you that yes, you must, watch TikTok, watch other social media if you wish, but be very, very careful where you take your information from and your advice from. You are also a human being. You have the power to control what you take and what you don't want. Because as human beings, I can tell you whatever I want to tell you. It's up to you to decide whether you will take it or not. Even if I'm talking sense and you know that it's sense, and you don't want to take the sense, and you want to take something that is not sensible, you can still decide to do that. That is called the power of autonomy. Individuals have the power to decide what they want to take and what they don't want to take. Whilst people may have influence in your decision-making process, at the end of the day, their power rests in you. So it's very, very important that yes, you may listen, but you need to ask yourself, the information that I'm consuming, how is it going to help me? Is this something that I must really pay attention to? Is it something that I must listen? Or is something that I should just listen and just forget it? You have the power to do that. That is called, self-autonomy and individual responsibility. So it's very, very important that we do that. Over the course of the week, a lot of questions have been asked about whether people who have been living here for 20 years can apply for indefinite straight away. And I said, I'm asking myself, where did you get this information from? People have contacted me, and they've also stated that they've heard that, if you are European national and you are living in the UK for 2.5 years, you can apply for indefinite leave. Once again, I asked myself, where did they get this information from? And I said, you know what? You listen to me on Saturday, the voice of legal reasoning, justice and law solicitors. We are bringing in the undiluted legal information. We are not here to bow, we are here to conquer. So we come here and bring you the truth and the facts. You have to make that decision. We are not saying that, you must take whatever I say today, but just listen and then read about it. Just do a bit of research. Spend 5-10 minutes of your time and say that, wow, this is what lawyer David Darko is saying. Is that true? If it's true, okay, let me just Google it. Let me go to the Home Office website. Let me check. Let me read up on the law. If you agree with me, take it. If you don't agree with me, by all means, challenge me. At the end of the day, like I say, life never stops teaching, and therefore the wise will never stop learning. The wise learn from the others, but the fool learn from his own mistake. And therefore, you have to try to avoid mistakes, because you look at the mistakes that people have done and you do what you learn from people's mistakes, and therefore it puts you in a better light, in a better position. Also, we have had our brothers and sisters, COS people, they've come to the country and no job for them. They haven't been given any work. Now things are going to get worse from 22nd of July. The whole idea that you can do 20 hours somewhere else comes with a caveat. But some people have been able to get away with it. They have been able to work for other companies for 20 hours or more, without the company may be checking whether they are still doing their full-time work or not. But that policy comes with condition. The condition is that you must be doing your full-time work plus 20 hours in the same occupational code. Some people were lucky, they were doing their full-time work and they were able to get the 20 hours. So the employer have not gone back to check whether they are still doing their full-time work and they are still in employment or they are still in occupation. Now, People need to wake up because things are going to get tough. It's going to get tough and tough and tough. And therefore, what you do, what do you have to do? We will look at that in a jiff. But all the same, we are going to be talking a lot about a lot of different stuff today. And the rule changes, I'm going to take my time and go through one at a time so that we can all do what? We can all get the benefit of this program. Whilst we are about to go on to that, I'm just going to play this tune. And this tune is a tune that I believe that a lot of people have heard it. But have we really paid attention to the lyrics? And if we have, do we really understand it? I didn't. Until this week, something just hit me. I mean, I heard someone playing it, and I was wondering, this song, where does it come from? And I got curious. I said, no, I need to research into this song. But then I look at the song, and it's like, it's a beautiful song. And the song is about patience is a virtue. By not rushing. You know, and it's a beautiful story. You know, I listened to the song, I said, wow, it's a nice story. So I'm going to play that song. If you want to know the story, by all means, just Google it and look at the story of the song. Ama Alu. Yes, Ama Alu the impatient. I rush. As soon as he moved, the man made it big. Ama Alu. As soon as the man made it big, he wants to come back. See, first fool is a fool, but second fool, no be fool. So let's listen to the song, and it's Magic System. The song is called Premier Gao from the Magic System. So, as soon as you join and share the program for us, Whitney Reynolds, good morning to you. Akosiedia, Evelyn Akosiedia, good morning to you. And it's Saturday, and we are not born. The best of Afrobeat. Share the program for us as soon as you join us. Yes. Premier Gawu. Patience is a mountain. Patience moves mountains. Patience is a virtue. Don't rush in life. Good things will come your way. Mr. Michael Amma, we greetings to you. And Mr. I'm here to testify for what. Okay. So basically, we thank God for His mercies. We are here today again. We are going to be looking at legal matters, and basically, we are going to be looking at some of the common mistakes that people do at employment places. So many cases come before us. Sometimes it's like, this is not real. This is not happening. And some of this, I know people will be skeptical. As soon as I mention it, they're going to say, who in his or her right mind will do this? But then again, crazy things do happen at workplaces. Now, every workplace may have their own sort of culture. And within the culture, we have subculture. Subculture means a culture within a culture. So, for example, you can work at a place where people may bring lunches to work. And they have their own sort of ways of doing things, their convention. Where maybe you bring your lunch, the lunch will be shared among, work colleagues who are present. Some people will come to work, they bring their lunch, they will just go and face the wall and just enjoy their food without talking to anyone. Yes, and some people, we call them chop time no friend. When they bring their food, it's for them only. Even if you smell it and you go like, that's the smell, it smells nice. They don't care, they don't want to know. Chop time no friend. When it comes to their food, they don't care about anyone else. That is the reason why I keep saying there is no friend at workplace. You are born alone, you die alone. And therefore, you are the master of your own ship. And therefore, you are the protector of yourself and protect your own interest, not anyone's interest. Because when it comes to it, whether you like it or not, human nature, our instinct is self-survival. They will push you up, they will beef you up, but when it comes to it, you are going to be there by yourself to face the consequences. And therefore, if you've just come to the country, no matter how nice someone may be to you at your workplace, watch out and be very, very careful. Because at the end of the day, the only common thing that you have in common is that you work at one place. That's it. If the work is not there, you'll be left on your own device. If the person leaves the work, you'll be left on your own device. And therefore, it's very, very important that when you go to workplace, you have this mindset, this mentality that you've come to work. You are not there to socialize. You are not there to make friendship. You are there to work and make money. And it's very, very important that the number one thing on your mind should be making money. Doing the right thing and making your money. That's it. Because you are not there to please anyone. You are there to work and make your money. That's it. Any other thing is secondary. But the primary thing is self-preservation and make your money. That's it. So for me, you go to workplace, the culture may be there, but the ultimate is that you are there to work. That is what you have been contracted to do. Nothing else matters but to go in and do your work. If you are supposed to start work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., just go in 6 a.m. and finish your 6 p.m. and go about your business. You cannot sit there and say that Kwame is taking 1 hour lunch break. So instead of my 30 minutes lunch break, I am also going to take an hour. You know what they say? What destroys someone's house can actually make your home. And what can make your home can also destroy someone's house. So never compare yourself to anyone. That, oh, some people do it and therefore it's okay for me to do it. No, you must have your own standards. You must have your own standards and say, you know what? This is what I am contracted to do. This is what I am doing. And therefore, what I'm contracted to do is what I'm going to do. And that's it. It's very, very important. What you are contracted to do is what you do. Don't look at the subculture over there and follow it. Because I've seen so many of our brothers and sisters, they've been to workplaces, instead of just focusing on what they have contracted to do, instead they allow themselves to be consumed by the subculture. So they ended up following others rather than doing what is right. They know what is right, but they are following others to do foolishness. And then when they get the sacked, unfortunately, they start playing the race card. Oh, I've been targeted because I'm this, because I'm that. But why don't you do the right thing from the first place? In this country, we call something the policeman test. Even children, that they can be excused for certain behavior patterns. In order for the policeman to know whether they knew the consequences of their actions and what they were doing, the question that in the old days the policeman will ask them, when you were doing the act, if you had seen a policeman, would you have stopped it or you will still continue to do it? If they say they will continue to do it, that means they did not understand the consequences of what they were doing. However, if they see the policeman, they would have stopped, that means they understood what they were doing. And therefore, to see the policeman and stop means that you know that what you were doing was not right, and therefore you face the consequences. Actions have consequences, and therefore we cannot do the act and not expect the consequences to follow. So you are working at a place and you know there are cameras everywhere. This is something that I don't understand. You know that there are cameras everywhere. Still, people don't take heed. I don't understand. So it's either they don't care or they are prepared to take the risk and face the consequences. If you take the risk and the consequences happens, don't play the race card. Because some cases have come before me that, it's so bonkers, it's so ridiculous. In my mind, I am thinking, are these people, do they have a brain? Are they thinking? Are they processing what has happened? Or they are just pretending that they don't know, or they are just pretending to me that they are dumb? No. Because as a rational human being, unless you have mental health issues, then there are certain things that you say you don't understand because of mental health issues or because of a disability. But if you're able to understand it and you still do it and the consequences comes, and you say you don't understand, then it makes it very difficult for anyone to be on your side. Typical example, clocking in for people. We all know that it amounts to dishonesty and theft. And this country, one of the things that employers hate or everybody hates is dishonesty. When people are not honest about issues, when people are not honest about situations, it's a problem. You know that you need to clock in at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. You are running late. Instead of calling the employer to say that, you know what, I'm running late today, A, B, C, D, and E. Instead, you tell someone to clock in for you. You are not at the workplace, but you have been clocked in to create the impression to the employer that you are in the building. Let's look at some of the problems associated with this. Since you clock in, the employer will start paying you. And if you are not working and you are being paid on the basis, on the false presumption or the false pretense that you are working, it amounts to dishonesty. And when it amounts to dishonesty and the employer pays you because of that dishonesty, it amounts to theft. And the Theft Act of 1968 in the United Kingdom. I see, if you dishonestly appropriate a property belonging to someone with the intention of permanently depriving the person of it, then Section 1 of the Theft Act of 1968, that is theft. How is this a theft? It is a theft. Let's break it down. It is a theft because you are going to work late. You are supposed to clock in at 6 o'clock. So you call John and say, John, I'm running late. By the way, can you clock in at 6 o'clock for me as a starting time of my shift? So John clocking in at 6 o'clock. You come to work at 7. Your employer not being around will start paying you from 6 o'clock. So between 6 and 7, you haven't done any jack, but you are getting paid for it. Okay. Now, this is where theft comes in. The employer will pay you for that 1 hour that you are not around. So the employer's property becomes the money that is given to you. And once it comes into your account, it amounts to appropriation. It's within your control. It has come to you. Now, when it comes to you, you are not going to call the employer to say that, well, I was 1 hour late, so I'll be overpaid by 1 hour, take your money back. So instead, you keep the money. So once you appropriate it and you keep the money, that is the intent, to keep someone's property permanently, and therefore it falls within a definition of a theft. Within our community, we don't see it as theft. We think that, oh, it's not a big deal. But to the employer, it's theft. And therefore, when it occurs, automatically they can sack you straight away. It amounts to gross misconduct. And any issue to do with dishonesty, believe in me, every employer have got the right to sack you straight away. And there is nothing that any lawyer can do. Sometimes people come and see a lawyer and I assess the case and I say, no, this case, you stand no chance in hell to fight this case. Sometimes people think that, oh, the lawyer doesn't want to take the case, the lawyer is not good enough. No, we need to make an assessment. Because as a lawyer, I don't want to take on any case that is got no merit, because your credibility become questionable. If you're a lawyer and you just take any case that comes before you, you end up doing gibberish cases and you'll be judged according to the results of your work. So if for me, the case hasn't got any merit, I will keep my dignity and forget about money. Because at the end of the day, dignity, self-respect is ultimate. If you don't have that, you don't have nothing. Even the dead want respect. What about the living? So it's very, very important that these things, today, we put this here. Because at the end of the day, if you allow yourself to be consumed about work culture, and people are doing it, and therefore you think it's normal, you're also going to do it, you have to live with the consequences. Can you imagine you are working at a place and you get sacked? Where are you going to get a reference? Everywhere that you go, they will ask your last workplace what happened. What are you going to say to them? Not only that, the embarrassment that comes upon it. People will see you 50 years time. All that they can remember is that, oh, this is the guy who was cheating at the workplace, who was clocking in, who was clocking out. Regardless of anything else that you've done, people will remember you, unfortunately, for the bad that you do. So for me, do not put yourself in that situation. If you are late, forget the 1 hour. How much is 1 hour pay going to do for you? Just be honest and just be straight. I'm running late. I do apologize. I will get in at 7, clock in at 7 and have your peace. Because not only that, the person that is clocking in for you, you are putting the person in danger. If they catch the person too, the person is also going to get fired. Because the person is aiding and abetting theft, which is also an offense. And that may amount to gross misconduct. Is dishonesty. So when it comes to dishonesty in this country, they don't joke with it. So clocking in is one of the prime examples that I can give. If you know you do that, be very, very, very careful. Because at the end of the day, when you get catch, no lawyer can get you out of this situation. And when you come to Lawyer Dark, when I tell you that I cannot help you, please don't blame me. Blame yourself for doing the doing. At the end of the day, you are responsible for the act. You have caused it, not me, not the lawyer. And therefore, if there is any blame, blame yourself and your inability to control yourself and be honest with yourself. So it's important. If you are late, just say I'm late. If you are going to deduct 1 hour, let them deduct it. Because honesty and respect is better than, be rich and live in filth. When I say be rich and live in filth, you may have the money, but it's dirty money. I would rather live poor and clean than to be rich and live in corruption. I like that. I'd rather be poor and live clean rather than to be rich and live in corruption. Clean life sets you free. So perhaps we need to understand this. Forget about, trying to be smart. Because unfortunately, when you don't do things right, and you are doing it and you think you are smart, in the end, unfortunately, the smart one becomes the foolish one. So for me, why don't you do the right thing and be free? A lot of people have lost their job because of this particular issue. Clocking in for people. And today, I just thought that we need to confront this head on. If you are listening to me and you are doing it, stop it. It's not going to help you. It's just a matter of time. Believe in me, it's just a matter of time. Why am I saying this? Because all that it takes is for one person to be caught. As soon as the person is caught, the person is going to mention everyone's name. I'm not the only one doing it. This person is also doing it. That person is also doing it. That person is also doing it. Believe in me. I remember someone telling me, something is only a secret if it's only known by you. As long as there are more than one person, it's no longer a secret. So be very, very careful. Because once it's blown, whoever gets caught is going to expose everyone. And when everyone is exposed, the employer will set you up. And regardless, if someone wants to set you up and you don't know about it, and the person is watching and observing, the person will get to where he needs to get to. There was no doubt about that. That is the reason why we have the intelligence services. When they set their eyes on you, it can take 20 years, 30 years, they will still get you. So be very, very careful. And all that I say is no more clocking in for me, no more covering someone's back for them. Let people do the right stuff at the workplace. That is one. Number two, I was involved in a case that someone working for a supermarket and the person got sacked. And that time, the small 500 ml bottle of water. The person was working and I think summertime, the person got thirsty. Instead of taking a break, go to the canteen and get water to drink or buy water to drink. He looked around the warehouse, no one was looking. He picked up 500 ml of water and then started drinking it. What baffles me is this. We all know that there are cameras everywhere. One of the countries that we are watched is the United Kingdom. Everywhere that you work, there are cameras there. Even Justice and Law Solicitors, our office, we have cameras there because we need to protect ourselves and protect people that comes in. So cameras are everywhere. You go to someone's doorbell, you click it, there's a camera there. Camera everywhere. So what will possess someone to go and take 500 ml bottle of water and drink it? knowing well that if you get catch, you are going to face disciplinary, or in a worst scenario, a dismissal. Yet, the person still went ahead and took it. Personally, I find it difficult to understand. But the psychology behind some of this deviant behavior, some people attract danger. The fact that they are stealing and they can be caught, they find it attractive. The danger of stealing, they find it attractive. To the normal brain, this is abnormal. But then again, not everyone is normal. On what I may consider to be normal, you may not consider it to be normal. But the reality, we have socially acceptable behavior of norms. That society will say that this is wrong, this is right. And therefore, I would expect any rational human being to subject himself to social expectation of what is normal and what is abnormal. But for some people, the fact that they are stealing a bottle of water and they can be caught, they find it attractive. Personally, it's bonkers. But to them, it's normal. And therefore, when you are caught, you are attracted by the danger and you are caught. Be prepared to face the consequences. That is my view. If you want to live in a fast lane, be prepared to die, to be prepared to be involved in an accident. You cannot encourage danger. You cannot expect to be involved in a mess and not to expect to have consequences or to face consequences of that behavior. So I say one have to be very careful, because workplaces, you've got cameras everywhere. And this is some of the things that personally I don't understand. Because of water that costs 25p, 50p, you go take it and it lands you in trouble. I don't understand. It amounts to theft, regardless of the value of the water. Even if it costs 1p, the fact that you did not have the authorization or the authority to take that water amounts to theft, and therefore you may face dismissal. So these are some of the things that we need to be aware of. Not only that, let's look at other examples. Product at workplaces. This is very serious and we need to be very, very careful. If you are working at a place and someone gives you something that you know, that is obvious, that something is used in the workplace. So for example, cleaning products, office stationery. You work in an office. Every time that you are going home, you take pens and pencils. Every time that you are going home, you take treasury tags. Every time that you are going home, you take papers. So all the time you are taking something from your workplace home, you don't bring it back. And you don't have the authority from the management to take it home. But every day you are taking it home. Once again, this is theft. And when you are caught, you cannot say that, well, everyone is doing it, so I'm also doing it. There is no justification for this. And when you are caught, unfortunately, it's summary dismissal. You can be sacked straight away, and there is nothing that your lawyer can do. So one has to be very, very careful. Like I say, you could be working at a place, everyone is doing it. People are taking cleaning products home, and you asking yourself, if everyone is doing it, why can't I do it? I get that. But the fact that everyone is doing it does not make it right. That does not mean that you should also do it. Because someone may not be caught. You do it and you are caught. And once you are caught, you cannot seriously say that everyone is doing it and therefore why are you being punished? They can only punish those people who are caught. You know, if you are caught, then of course you are going to have to face the consequences. You have to face the reality. You know, you have to face the reality because you've been caught. The person hasn't been caught, B hasn't been caught. If you are caught, you face the reality, you face the consequences. You see? And therefore, what I say is, you cannot. I always say, don't compare yourself to someone. Because you may be caught, they haven't been caught. And therefore, it's not the same situation. Regardless of what you will say after you are caught, the employer may not take you serious. Employer may think that you are trying to drag more people into the equation. And they cannot afford to lose all the employees, and therefore they're going to have to find a way to get rid of you as the bad apple. And then the subsequent bad apples, what they would then do is to look for a leverage, look for replacement, and find a way to set them up and sack them too. That is what normally happens. So all that I will say to you is that at workplaces, be very, very careful. No one is your friend. If you are in trouble or when you are in trouble, you're on your own. Nobody is going to help you. Even when you are facing disciplinary, you'll be surprised. They will simply tell you that, oh, I support you, I've got your back, and so on and so forth. However, when it comes to it, when it matters, believe in me, they're going to leave you, they're going to hang you out to dry. So people have to be very, very careful. Like I say, there is no friend at workplace. At the end of the day, people will always do what? People will always look after number one. That is their interest in themselves. If you understand that, then that will help you to make, I believe, the right decisions for the future. You know, because human beings, we are funny. We can be strange. And what I will say to you is, there is no one is your friend at the workplace. Be very, very careful. Make the right decisions and make sure that, you know, you do the right stuff. Because the world is like a circle, it goes round. Today you are stealing with someone. The person is your best buddy. Believe me, friendship doesn't last forever. It comes to a time, at a point, that there will be cracks. But people who show loyalty are the people that you should trust. Not people who just betray you because it's convenient for them to do so. The very people that you are doing it with, they may betray you. At some point, you need to ask yourself, if they go and grasp on you, what are you going to do? Let that be your guide. Let that force you to refrain yourself for such things. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we have to live with our head, our mind, and our heart. We need to live with our conscience. The steps that we have taken, is it going to come back and haunt us? Is it going to haunt us for the rest of our lives? For a step that I have taken today. That is the reason why any action that you take, you just don't do it, but you sit down and you check and you ask yourself, what about tomorrow? If you think about tomorrow, it will make you make the right decisions today. But if you refuse to think about tomorrow, you are always going to make the wrong decisions and you pay for the price tomorrow. So that's what I can say in relation to workplaces. There are subcultures. You can, acknowledge it, but don't be involved in it. Because at the end of the day, it's a cooperation culture that you must follow. Typical example is, for example, this country. When someone gets involved in an accident or someone just collapses or something like that, the culture is that you must call the ambulance, stand beside the person, and then follow the instructions that you are given by the 911 operator. You see, if you don't follow that and you just grab the person, you put the person in the car and you rush the person to the hospital, if the person suffers from any concussion, you are going to be blamed. But in your head, you thought you were doing the right thing. So let's be very, very careful about some of these things. You might think that you are doing the right thing, but you end up not doing the right thing, or you'll be accused for not doing the right thing. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we continue. Not doing the right thing, or you'll be accused.
Midi soir, on était ensemble à la rue Princesse, au milieu maquillot, à sans faute et les vidéos. L'argent est fini, en tout a changé de côté. Wari Kamna, elle a changé de côté. Nangere, nangere, wa, 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 nangere, nangere, wa.
Now let's go to the second segment of the program. It's 12 o'clock now. Let's go to the second segment. What are we talking about for the second part of the program? Employment plays a lot happens, but be very, very careful. Don't count on anyone at workplace. Don't trust anyone at workplace, because everyone comes to work with their own agenda. Be very, very careful. People come with their own agenda. And if you get sucked into someone's agenda, you'll be surprised. So be very, very careful at the workplace. Now, immigration procedure. And then after that, we go to major changes from 22nd of July. There's a lot going on at TikTok, and one have to be very, very careful. That is all that I can say to people. Be very, very careful at TikTok what you hear. Some of them are useful, some of them are not so useful. Nanaya, good morning to you. Long time. I hope you are well. Royal Barra of Tonbridge, Wales. Mr. Hart, I need to call you. Message back. Forgive me. I'll find time and call you back at some point this afternoon. The procedure, what are we looking at? Especially the timing of submission of applications. Some people still have the view that for whatever reason some people have the view that 6 months before your visa expires, but that is not the case. You know, Home Office guidelines suggest that if you want to submit an application, make sure that you submit the application within 28 days before your visa expires. That is what the Home Office says. The problem that a lot of people also have is that the employers will start giving them headache. A headache at the moment. I hope that the transmission is still okay. Yeah. Okay, hopefully, yeah. Very good. So basically, Home Office says that put your application in 28 days before the visa expires. Most employers will also start hassling you 2 months before the visa expires that they need evidence that you have submitted. You have submitted application for further leave to remain. Justice and Law, we have adopted a policy of advising our clients to bring their applications 2 months before their visa expires. The reason being that it gives us sufficient time to mop things up, and if there are any corrections that have to be made, then we make those corrections. It's for that reason to do what? To put in the application 2 months before. So that by the time that the case actually goes to the caseworker would have done what? It would be within the 28 days as prescribed by the Home Office. So that is what we do. And we have been doing that successfully since 2011, 2012. Because initial stages we are having problems as well. When the application goes too early, Home Office may return it to say that you've done the application too early. And when it gets too late, our clients get suspended from work because they haven't been able to provide any evidence to show that they are, or they have put. This was challenging for us, but we managed to get around that by giving that 2 months notice period where application would then be submitted on that basis. So it's, you know, it's a remedy for this situation. And we are soldiering on, and through that we've been able to help a lot of people to secure their status and secure their jobs for them. The second one that I want to talk about is the procedure. You see, if you're a family member of an European national, the idea that after 2 years you can get indefinite is a myth. Please don't listen to that. People are wasting your time on TikTok. That you are European national, after 2.5 years you go for indefinite. Please, it's not true. Don't believe it. What the policy said was this. A case went before the court And the judge said that if European national spent less than outside the United Kingdom, then he's okay. When his time comes for him to apply for indefinite, then it can, you cannot use that against him, that he stayed outside the United Kingdom for less than 2.5 years. The reason being that the law is that if you spend more than 2.5 years outside the United Kingdom and it comes to indefinite, then it can be used against you. That is what the law says. So therefore, the fact that you have spent less than 2.5 years in the United Kingdom, the reality is that when the time comes for you, of late, some people have also received letters from the Home Office telling them that their visas has been extended for another 5 years, blah, 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 blah. My advice to you is, if you qualify for indefinite, don't just sit there. Apply for it and get your indefinite. Control of your own immigration status, and you are in control of your own immigration affairs. But if you are going to sit there for the Home Office to grant you indefinite, and you are sitting there waiting for the Home Office, and they never come back, what are you going to do? So one has to be very, very careful. For me, if it's within your control, do it. I would rather it's in my control than to leave it in someone's hand. Because people can do things happen. You leave it in someone's control and the person messes you up. Then what do? So for me, it's very, very important that if you qualify, don't sit there. If you qualify, don't sit there. Yes, obviously, lawyer, your line is breaking. Facebook for them, I'm a headache. And you're not my boy, and me say, I'm happy with it. But it's for entertainment and educational purposes, the song that was played. So Facebook, leave us alone. I say, warning, send you my boy, no money in your home. Enti say e break ya fa che me nyemia enti one ne ba ya na ma press say resume na che say ye koyenim because enyu ne nya ba wi enti ye be share mo Facebook mo tra na mo melo na ye koyenim why premier gawo eno ne de makwa to asem mu no ene na ma ni break no enti e me say ye be koya dada mu sa ofa so trabre ye die na che say ye refu na ye free. And basically that is how it is. And what we say is this. Say Home Office. I can't assume and you're very careful the way I go for interpreting my. Because you see, I go Facebook, just go for you can see I don't know where they are getting this from. And it's never true that if you are here for 2.5 years, and you are a family member of an European national, you have to complete your 5 years before you can get your indefinite. That is the law. So I beg, don't let anyone deceive you. If you have been living here for 20 years, once again, people are spreading these lies that if you are living here for 20 years, you can apply for indefinite. No, it doesn't say that. For you to stay on a 10-year route. Those that the indefinite may apply to are those people who have stayed here more than half of their lives. And this applies to those age, from 0 to 25. If you can demonstrate that you have been in the United Kingdom for more than half of your life, then you can make an application. You can make a case for that. How does it work? Maybe my name is, David. Maybe you. I was 10 years of age. I am now 21. I don't have papers. I want to submit an application to the Home Office. So these are the changes that are coming. So the fact that I am 21 now, and when I came here, I was 10. That means if you divide my age of 21 into 2, that would be what? That would be 10.5. So that means I have spent more than half of my life in the United Kingdom. And under those circumstances, I will be eligible to be considered for indefinite leave to remain. These are the stuff that they are talking about. And also children under 18 who have been here for more than 7 years. they also stand a chance of making an application for indefinite leave to remain on the basis of long residency. When we talk about long residency for adults, those age over 20, those age over 18, who are now making their application, they will be on a 10-year route. And those who are making an application under, and they are basically under 18, and if they have been living here for more than 7 years, then of course they can also do an application. Now, we are simply going to jump on to major immigration rule change from 22nd of July 2025 and what UK employers must know. It's worth also mentioning that recently there has been a bit of politics in terms of refugees and people coming in and people going out and what not. Okay, now the statistics shows that since we come out of the European Union, in fact, there are more people coming in illegally through the channel than before. And some people are blaming it on Brexit. Since we come out of the European Union, the whole idea of the Dublin Convention no longer applies. The Dublin Convention is where the policy is that any asylum seeker, if they want to claim asylum, they must claim it in the first safe country that they reach. So because of that, Britain were able to send most of the asylum seekers back, which most cases to France. But unfortunately, since we come out of the European Union, there is no longer reciprocal agreement where we can simply send people back. And as a result, the people getting in the dinghy and boats coming to the UK, and people do not understand. People are complaining that nothing is being done about immigration, and some people are arguing that one of the unintended consequences of Brexit is to attract people to go on a treacherous journey from France to the United Kingdom. There are arguments for and against. I'm in the middle. I don't know what to say. Some people argue that there is a direct correlation. Some people say that no, Europe is trying to punish Britain for coming out of the European Union by allowing people to come from France to the United Kingdom, depending on where you stand in the political sphere. That determines what it is. But it is what it is. There's nothing that anyone can do. There's nothing that I can do. So all that I say is that we live to see. You know, over the course of the week, met Macron with the idea that one in, one out. So those who are already in, if another one come in, we will send another one back, which is an agreement that they have agreed. So some people are arguing that, but this is not enough. I don't know what is enough. Me, I'm not a politician. So boy, we just wait to see what's going to happen now. We voted to come out, and it has been estimated that we are losing billions of pounds every year because of Brexit. Some people will also argue that no, at least we are making our own laws. Depending on where you stand in terms of the political sphere, whether good or bad, we wait to see. So, Mr. Frank Kwame Usu, greetings to you. Long time. I don't know where you are hiding, you know, keep in touch, keep base, you know, let's hear from you. I hope that all is well. All right, so let's keep going. The changes, the major changes. Now, following the UK government's immigration white paper, them I call it restoring control over the immigration system. The system are dread, so they are calm. Immigration control, immigration system. Now let's see then. The new rules, which will come into force on 22nd of July 2025, will affect businesses and skilled worker applicants. So hear me now. Amacho, Samuel program in a breaky I won't find me Facebook for me. Enti the one in the abeto so tell myself one and that one. As he said, there's something in Satoa, a buy Adama pressy. Not just say breaky. Be breaky, I don't worry. You can go back and listen to it again. Alright? Because I say enyom obona se eda and yes aboto asubie. And you know, changes are ever. A decision has been made by the UK government that the skill level threshold for skilled worker visas, which was lowered from regulated qualification framework to level 3, is now going to be increased to level 6. So the whole of the increase is to reduce about 180 eligible occupations. The effect is to have major impact on migration, to reduce the number of people who can come in. Now, what they say is this: applicants can continue to be sponsored in occupations lower than RKF level 6 if they are already in the route. So, for example, you come in as a carer and you are already in a care profession, you are not going to be affected by that. But we all know that the care COS and the care thing is going to be cancelled. I will come to that. So, for example, if you come in as a nurse under level 3 from 22nd of July, you are not going to be affected by that. But anyone that is coming in have to have level 6. So that is what the Home Office is saying. Also, the Home Office is going to create immigration salary list. Now, it's going to be replaced by temporary shortage list. Immigration salary list is where they were using salary to calculate as to, the type of work that will be exempted from meeting the financial requirement. But this time, to leave after their contract is finished. There's also going to be increase to salary rates. Salary requirements across the skilled worker, global business mobility, and add up scale are being made in line with the latest, which is the 2024 survey. And based the figures. General threshold for skilled workers applicant will increase from £38,700 to £41,700. General threshold for skilled worker applicants who hold a PhD in a subject relevant to the role will increase from £34,800 to £37,500. Now, general threshold for skilled worker applicants who hold a PhD in a STEM subject relevant to the role, or the role is on the immigration salary list, will increase from 30,960 to 33,400. General threshold for skilled workers who were on the skilled worker route before 4th of April 2024 will increase from 29,000 to 31,300. General threshold for skilled worker applicants who hold a PhD in a subject relevant to the role will increase from 26,100 to 28,000. Now, there is going to be an end to overseas care worker sponsorship from 22nd of July 2025. So, from 22nd of July 2025, sponsorship for care workers and home carers and senior care workers will only be permitted from applicants within the United Kingdom. Écoutez, aussi from 22nd of July 2025, senior care workers, home carers, application from outside the United Kingdom is going to be très bien. Applications from within the United Kingdom will be okay. Now, to meet the criteria, applicants must have been legally working for a sponsor in one of the shortage occupation 2020 occupation codes for at least 3 months, ending on the date the certificate of sponsorship was issued by the sponsor. And the date of the application must be before 22nd of July 2028. Or applicant must have a permission as a skilled worker sponsored in either of these. Basically, as you can see, there is going to be a change. From outside, no chance from 22nd. But from within, there is a chance, but you must satisfy the requirement that I've just mentioned. Shortage occupations. The immigration salary list of what are commonly referred to as shortage occupations will eventually be phased out by 31st of December 2026. From 22nd of July 2025 until 31st of December 2026, sponsors will still be able to recruit sponsored workers from a revised immigration salary list, including roles which falls below degree level, example RQF level 3 to 5 roles, and roles which the committee MAC has identified as labor shortages. Now, new temporary shortage lists are as follows: 1243 managers in logistics, 1258 directors in consultancy services, 3111 laboratory technicians, 3112 electrical and electronics, 3112 electrical and electronics, 3113 engineering technicians. It goes on and on and on and on. It's just too many of them, so I'm not gonna waste too much time going through this, but I'm going to cut the link and I'm going to paste it on the comment section. And if you are interested, then by all means you can go and read it. Because of time factor, I'm gonna have to shorten it and go as fast as I can. Now, one of our brothers sent me a tape. Play it, hopefully, and I will then, comment on it. I believe that's something that's probably bothering a lot of people as well.
After July 15th, sounds crazy, but here's the truth that's catching travelers off guard. From July 15th, 2025, the UK is making a major shift in its passport system. That classic burgundy British passport is being fully replaced with a metric version. It doesn't mean your current passport is useless overnight, but if it's outdated or issued before 2020, you could run into serious problems at the airport. Some airlines and countries are starting to push back on older designs, especially, and here's the real kicker. After July 15th, the old style won't be renewed or reissued at all. If you're unsure whether your passport still meets the requirements or when you should renew, I've added the official info and a renewal checker in the link in bio to save you time and stress. Or just go to Google and search for this. Now only open this. Next, just go to the post and check all the details there. People are already getting stuck, either being urgent passport renewals that cost more and take longer. Don't wait until it ruins your trip. This isn't just a design update. It could affect your visa-free travel, identity verification, and even entry into some countries. So double check your passport now. July 15th isn't far. And if you're the link in bio for the latest government updates and renewal options before it's too late. No more British passports after July 15th. Sounds crazy, but here's the truth that's catching travelers off guard. From July...
I mean, if you listen to the audio, as soon as you listen to the first line, you will panic a bit, as if British passport is no longer going to be valid. But that is not the case. As we all know, the red book is being replaced by someone who say black book or maybe navy blue book. Whatever you may call it, we know that there is a change. It's going to change. Some airlines, you see, airlines have a lot of discretion whereby they may decide whether they will allow you to board their plane or not. And the difficulty is that the airlines, if they don't do their job properly, they can get fined, especially if they take someone into the country and the person is not supposed to be allowed to board the plane and come to the country. Therefore, as to who they allow to come to the country, I totally accept that. I totally understand that. Some airlines, if your passport has got less than 6 months, they will not allow you to board the plane. So, if possible, all the time, make sure that you renew your passport in time. Many a times people feel that, hold on, if I renew my passport too early, I am wasting my money. One thing about British passport, from my experience, if you have, for example, 2 months left on your passport and you are renewing it, not the 2 months to your new passport. So instead of the 10 years or the 5 years for children, they will do it 10 years, 2 months, so that you don't lose out on the 2 months early replacement. From my experience, that is what I've seen. So for me, I don't see why you should sit there for your passport to expire before you renew it. I don't think it's helpful. Passport, it doesn't cost that much, but imagine that you got plane ticket which costs you about, say, £1,500. Passport renewal is about £100, and you don't renew your passport on time. You get to the airport, you are not allowed to go on a plane. You will end up losing £1,500 for what? For miscalculation or for the mistake. So for me, these are the things that we must always consider when we are making decisions. In the long term, is it worth it? I always say this. Think about the long term. Any decision that you make, think about the long term. Is it worth it? If it's worth it, then do it. If it's not worth it, trust me, it's worse than long-term pain. And short-term pain is better with long-term enjoyment. So we need to be, careful of what we do, and our decision makings is vital. What we do, that our parents, they get so heavy when we don't do the right stuff, because they know that it's going to affect our future, either in a very good way. So for me, it's important that we are able to look at these things and make the right decisions for ourselves and for our loved ones. It's now 12:30. We are going to take one tune, and then when we come back, we can then take some phone calls, and 1 o'clock sharp, we will bring the program to an end. So if you have any question, get ready. As soon as we activate the telephone lines, please do call, because 1 o'clock sharp, if you DNA to so before say because so no, and I said if you did to so no, next week Mejiba home kakra meet me in your program no or any tria. There's a lot of someone will say a lot of graduations going on until I had mini na 24 yanko nikotie. I said, yeah, say kutu, say bam, and also send it about it. Munchie moon, I'm the mentiasi. But who says I go for you did this? I say kutu, say bam, and I about it. No, I know be a trato no. Kwajo for say kutu, say bam. Ayate, good day, David, or Hene, or Hema, Abena, Ejewa, your church baby, I will be a Sasuna Dina Usu, baby, I will be a church. I took him and I'm a church, Mr. Armstrong, baby, I will be a church. Then he said, you then it's Nyako, your church, baby, I will be a Nana Amachi the Deba. Greetings to you, I salute you. Stephen Afote. May the Lord Almighty God be with you. I salute you. I said, "Oh, she to be radio. My to papa so and I said, "Papa, intro the ye." I say, "Enye omi, some more. Enye omi dear any BBO said." Enye obi die no bibi bio say o masa twi na no dey asemo me trust me read this idea we o say enye obi die any obi enye obi die any obi bio asa enye obi die no obi die o I was between and quay on, and I said, I'm reading ye. Your father is or say, enye omo dear any bio, enye omo dear any bio. Hey, I say, I see, enye omo dear any bio. Now, one day, what the for politics in Trinity and Quay, why? Now, true, I know what thing, enye omo dear any bio. And also, what does that mean? Mamo. Can you see so now holding one, you know? And your moody any bio. Okay, and your omudi any bio. Okay, I feel never until I say kutu say bam. Boy, I'm on for muti pio. Okay, Yemfa amatro for into na Yemfa phone calls now. Any question you will be honest with me, Busa. If you answer minimum, Busa be because we are trying because say kutu say bam. New Casaba. Okay, young query. Number Didi Jumano 0753896959. Ubetimi afre abisisa number iso. Or question bia ubetimi idea afre. Tino, you go so I can call. You know. And by all means, you pick up the phone. If you have any question, by all means, you can call. Let us know. And let's see how we can help you. ATM calls. You be amateur for nothing. Now saying that now about 1 o'clock pepe. ye the dwumadie no e ba na wie because there were other things here. I was say ye some nyina say mo ani tua changes na e beninti e bi eba from the 16th of July. So we dependent we just obetimi aware okrumu and emo the application ko tuma ye mfa ma enti the eba no and for dependent of skilled workers no enti no say oyire agyawo na say ukunu agyawo na so ye dependent na say wakohia obi foforo wabudo pese wo ya application any so make sure say all the application not to before the 16th because 16th never are you too late. There is nothing that anyone can do. So when the kind seek advice every justice and law now say you catch us that was a possibility about 4 months ago 5 months ago now one kwanko ye ho hwe na akotena ho na akobọ adwe na say na say oba after 16th of July as a lawyer afi na maba because emrana change advice ni so ebe change enti ebesre mo se wo siki advice aya tu ehwo anamontem obi wa wo siki advice na akogina dwom no obokube you know na okodi nsem de so ye no onkoye ne ntem afia bibia change no afia no aba mebe hu lawyer ana lawyer kan say ana lawyer kan say ana lawyer kan say e wa breso so onka say obesiki advice no wakotwen ama 2 years aba 3 years aba afia na ono aye ready officer ne ho ato no officer itime de boa no enti ebesre mo say opese usiki advice na person ye bibia ana wa ye na reasonable time say every now and then no our phone no obisa lawyer ni say is there any change na lawyer ni bibia also tinya ka kire na wetinya ya ma me yeah first caller you go all the way to Scotland. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good morning, lawyer Dab.
Hello, good morning to you. Say kutu. Yes, he say bam. Hey, I'm out for more. Obviously, hey, asemo. Asem ye bi pa. Hey, asem. Mama Scotland, yanko.
Nyamisra oni debia oputwa. For the brain.
Amen.
Nyamisra pa. Emma ebi nyoma sitre emma ya dream esesa emma your spirit my you say no, I have to do this.
That's right.
Speed up. I have to do this. Maybe I may say, what you mean definitely, mommy, not British passport and come and grab on, come and drink for. But if you have to say, oh, boom, now teaching me, not me. Sorry, okay. Take my mission, meaning say, and young one and me feel exact. The person may be some question, lawyer. Sanipa no at the skills visa a free Ghana bedula. Na obanity ekwatina baby. Be manu sitting a baby. Na obanu aqua wokrun so anye ye money. Na osamba baka. Womu pese bakwenya swisha. Is it possible say baku beti bi aka ho ana? And now let me put it in this way. Oba no atweno ho akotsena Telford more than 1 year and 6 months. Be man baby a oteno oba ni di mfa ho le bibia mfa ho nothing. Now, Obani dear in your response a Swiss more dear to my home office was say she has to wait, they are doing investigation. Now, Sa Oba Kuya Betsimia back to baby a beman wa the king bibian for one. As I am best Swissi, not beman the Nakan one. That's my question.
I say from information the amano, maybe the bear as well you careful. Because you see the video by nature you know the crow.
Good.
You see a investigation, and then walk ya you see a investigation. Now obede ninsem aba besawo. Now fear no a besa was one yama. And self survival, maybe they have same way. A idea self-survival first. Maybe before I can help you, I have to help myself first. Maybe I make any pain, a ni pursue a nature. It is a me because ye nim jana asona wade bano. One ye or the no better or pet. Now so yes also you under investigation. Now we kwa na say over. Enra na make us ask him we the example chire obi. Na papa bi person okofa ne baba. 2019 on. Okaso okofa ne baba. All of a sudden they say, "Oh, me name is me okofa me baba." Hold on. Oh, obey ukita nkrata dada. Sebe adwene na ma atim se kofa wo babra. Ukunu ka so kofa ne baba. And you say so kofa wo baba. Etim ka che be ma ne se masa. Maybe personally, I don't agree. Se kwan no na wuka wo kwan akasu twa wo kwan. Ma minister so kofa ne baba mo no so yen application. Men fa me fra. Wan hwe yi e de asem beba. Oh, ene ma mi na me yiri na de o de be fra ni. Afei ye the application ne ko ya. Ye say mame ne ba no birth certificate no. Almost suspect say e fake. Enu nti emfa mo mi enu nyina. Hwe. Na ko fast na be kan afei no ma refuse. Na yes ye be ya appeal. Ye the appeal akọ akotum. Ye be kokota ma me se court in the mema. Just say after one drama after another, from 2019 you fight case in 2024 I'm catch up so onim say unye serious media I will tell you plain application mean you unless you say ubeyi ni oni ne beni nyire free my single in the end no me hear word word so no and for jitum say yenye ni sa and now American akra no e wokuru mu ame no okase. My God. Enti enima bi wo wa hwe enima bi wo a ewiase ni obi a na ye nhyira wo obu a wo ben wa eye case onyeba nyina be kɔ fom saa obi ososo be batawa obi so abrabo no e kɔ nanim ana obi ososo a oye bibia enye yie because nyame anome no nyame nim sɛ onya ba bi si obe ha adwene na bi sɛ nyame anome obi a oda ba be page de pa no enti sometimes no obi kɔ na so no akɔye ne nema na sɛ eduka ne so a think self preservation first. Bema no onyene ne ho onye de so yi se ne ho toni wie na so bi se obeboa na fine but right now pa de make us say no don't waste your time because you do dey ba afi na ni be ba wo so na afi na wo so e be scrutinize oni e be check oni e be ye how dabi okoye nke si ni dabi enti no the two of you should come for intake. This is it. But it's like I say, also be a confuser. And yes, confused. I don't know how to describe this. Sometimes you don't, or I can't just describe it. Well, I mean, the thing is this: Romeo and Juliet. Sa story na read you know enya de CEO yeah enne bema wo de kawash wo ba wo dampa so ma wo nyiniti life o enti na wiase ne de tetene na ye fe bi odo eni wiase odo ni ba bia hwe self preservation grow home first yeah okay. It's as simple as that enti so ontimi ndwene ne ho na tem dia no badwene obi ho na ti ono ani detriment dia ene infantile beka wala. That's right. That's it. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Yes, my number of friends with me friend still on the line 07538969589. With me from BC number so 07538969589. So I'm some more friend want me room not just say obi na phone so still you were 15 minutes. Also betting your friend now or question be now also idea waiting idea ebisa enti ye daso train moko poso program this at mon fan cheme na eja obe ne de ye fa this enye de bia ne binya ne easy sa edu bia na just afa be bi kra tino oh friend oh ha na so be so friends we betting your friend Kim Paluta Yes. Yes. And I don't want it here. I was going to teach you home. Hello. Hello.
Hello, lawyer. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Patron, I can say. Mr. Hart from Tunbridge Wells. That's right. Eja, sa sa bu beni bim dan to wase de ko slow vai. Well, I tell for somebody. O si ensu kese ana ma akawa eye ahantan. Onti ase akobuza na o bejire jire ogu. Ati, sa pepepe eja kasa.
We call Ghana kakra last month in Ghana mo Ghana me drew last 2 days. And we buy na ya kakra and me ba won so na chese program no ekoso.
All right.
And so we have meeting we have ante.
Okay.
Na de ba kwa me person me bisa wan so na me bi man for me buy man for can say changes bi aba. Me activity what can be see am mate. Na de me man tia me person bisa wan so say yes ko fa o yere and I will free. Because my government Ghana number. Before na 5 years, but my teacher said only about 10 years. Na maybe say no kwasem be ni wo matisa na say ndika badawo na.
Enya enyesa eye idea is floating around.
Okay.
Ese omo emfankotem. Na sa idea we me mum de personally me hu no from 2012.
Okay.
Tama omu introduce 10-year route to settlement. Theresa May. Or kasa asem we and I'm say, said the nema esi ebobokoi. Emre bi beba. This may be adopted as a government home office policy.
Okay.
At the moment, enyamai. Anna ebeba krana ebe go through parliament in winter time.
Okay.
For voting and all that. And there isn't any announcement is going to be, but it is expected to say ebe go through parliamentary scrutiny for basically for scrutiny. And at the moment there any sanity here. Why?
Okay, that's bad.
Anna, the SC when you say Kruma so laws no, it does not apply retrospectively. Enti omo that dane Ti se wan worry na se opeso okofa okunu ko se okofa yereba na ma onan aboto na why me intentem ati enye sa changes ne de ba na eba te se kakai
mate nyon ko bi application bi nti e ma ne sene ade bi ma wo WhatsApp nti na nipa no do so nti no e na me kai wi nti wo se bi free asabre my be free all Ghana wa ba wa.
Oh yes.
Me nyon ko me ne beba.
To be honest, me who and I'm send the command assemblyman and say, who is this? I don't know who this person is.
Okay.
Because I remember phone is also. It's like a free whatever coming with a what. A quiet third party may say, now who is this? Me who the power. And you got
on cinema, until the audio crowd, we have the audio. We hear some number of Ghana.
I ask them all. Obey the yes, so yeah, that was CP. Bye. Baby, this year, baby, aqua. Yes, you were 8 minutes now. I'm on for Frey Subetini a freebie. Sa pepe. Aha. I say, bede, aye.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Now, Pacho, what I say? Nah, ya from Tunbridge Wells Royal Borough. And a Tunbridge Wells from Mukrum. The Bibia Bokodi. I was a photo away. Nyamia domine Mumpai Bunti, me who dense aboa popino. Then I we then
British passport. na se wo ko Ghana na se wo Ghana card unhia visa na no kure sa
aye true do what it is they say oh yeah Ghana ni na so say British ni a British for G2 Ghana for G2 citizenship and I say dual nationality. And what Ghana government say they say oh ID be a cheso ye Ghana ni a eno ema wo ho kwan ema wetini tena Ghana ema etini ba Ghana. Enti wo ko Ghana eno ane say wo de ID card na so passport no ebe kire. British authorities no e wo UK ese me ko Ghana me Ghana ni etimi ko without the visa on be more full plane no. Sa so na ufi Ghana eba
Ghana passport no ewu mi renew ye but me wo Ghana card e valid.
yeah.
Until na me bisa say metimi dey no attach me British passport no na me dey akwa na.
Ubetimi na emmom the mechanic say airline no say British Airways na dey kwa mesro say call their service customer service and explain it to them. Neji confirmation from them. Emremu no ubetimi akọ ebi abakodru on mo no ni nipa na wo no ye airline oni mra no na afi no be camera na wo be hihyew. But when they make what you say because people assume say obi adwuma airplane mu dia onim immigration law and also you adwuma airport onim immigration law, you'll be surprised. Be brave haven't got a clue. And anything that sometimes we do or say I'm going to check, I'm coming. Or go seek your advice and say no make a decision. Say get a passport or there, make us say you don't have a problem. Card, you know, some people are not used to the card. Don't visit away the baby. So it is sometimes, you know, you may have a little bit of a border. And in a software airline now, ubetmenya sa clearance, you know, now I gini penny din. And to do what I say, so I called your office, I spoke to this person on such a day, and he gave me the clearance. I don't see why you are making an issue. Call the person. That's it. And then basically you are free to go. Because Udri Ghana Airport, like it's a Ghana card, and one ID room, nobody bothers you because it's accepted in Ghana. Oh, but airlines when a beer, not omunim, no more difficult. And to make us a free home, and yes, idea, you Ghana renew your Ghana passport. No, they are saying anyone. Why?
Okay. Now Ghana passport no so no. On the mechanic first mechanic me definitely live to remain a Ghana passport no. Titibia na ye dey tell me bi me kwan body na nya sa biometric card bi kura na o ma se san ko online. This is here kwan ban so na me fa na my whatever the ba wa na say meet me online.
Don't bother yourself. Look at a British passport. And you know, sani many na ekem. Today here say, oh yeah, Ghana passport na. Oh kwa na do Ghana passport actually. Oh ba na do British passport actually. You can use it interchangeably. That's it. It's very hard. But what I say, the only need two passports. One is British passport, one is Ghana passport. Oh kwa Ghana, oh do Ghana passport actually. Ufi Ghana about Britain, oh do British passport actually. That's it. And one will be I. Why? Will be I.
Okay.
And it's acceptable.
Sorry, me how where
no problem.
Now says see almost almost 29,000.
Okay.
Now say Jumana Mayer no, a 29,000, maybe 27. A Jeven game na met me account. On budget.
Obey a part-time account. And I said, oh, savings. And I said, we savings, but I'm not going to say a part-time account. Only 6 months. Now the application that you know you're free. Why?
And you were savings there was savings in some budget, and I said part-time now main thing I was saying.
You feel say your part-time the money is simple because savings, you know, just set that account for about 6 months. You need to explain the source of that money. And the calculations are be no crowd too complex.
Mortgage cry no more income.
Debbie.
Okay.
And to do your part-time account when I say when you're 29 now. That's so you be say Odim. Now I know you're free. Why?
Okay. Me that's pa.
Okay, no problem. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, I said bye-bye. The time like 3 minutes, one more from somebody me afraid, more money tata ni enko why. E bo one the dwumadi no eba na wie. Mamo frɛ yɛntimi amfa no Muslim bit me after by all means. The number is 07538 969589. 07538 You can question immigration and nationality law and family law by all means. This is the time. We've got only 2 minutes to bring the program to an end, and we are still waiting for your call. The name is David Dark on Justice and Law Solicitors. Our telephone number is 0207 993 5976 or 07538 969589. Our office hours is Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 5:30 sharp. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Hi, good afternoon. Patrick, say.
Mama boat to me.
Mama boat from Reading. Young quite Mama boat. Obi awon ye dey.
Reading, I read
Miss me chacha oni bi.
Reading for you na so tia pa.
Sao, me jo mi na so.
Na say katikati ro for bi.
Facebook for na omo every break e be mo so ma ko. Omo cheda bet omo di agoro. Omo say enwom no copyright de be na. Omo edi hamadwe omo punishing.
Asem na nzo omo peti be tie ni ye na fa ya so.
Eno so de omo boa.
Enti lawyer we ye da wa se de bia o ma ye chin bi sei no. I know people who know something I say, oh, no, yeah, now we have the Biana.
I did see David.
Who was society, now to Nipa now to Nipa Sema. Every Saturday, lawyer gets Naha. The bus crash, say, cry, and I at Yamai. Except that me, mammy, to me, I make you cry, many opportunity, I make ya. Make Cosse, said the Bayer was being to communicate or not to submit me a cognac, and non you. Yen no more akentia. And sema ya ye feel hono. There are some lawyer. And ye better asking me, ya. To say, no, to add your mobile or
how mu? Yes.
Who say a baby and no money or munko for the ya. Or ye pay far more attention as society. I to say a brown with the apple. A better to say my 28 days to groom up. If you are ye and the city in or Moye, then you may do a while. See, I usually can't see that for. Now, yes, there were 1 new man to say, oh, Munsen, and conquer Pim Dine and Town or Massamba. Straight or Mumra, Yadapo. Justice and law, Miss Sick, as said, the cry or Bepons and to Panama. Namunia, the Moko, Nenanam, a youth one wa near Mexica, no matter dear, by
okay, therefore.
Direct.
That's right. That's right.
Because only the name over the other papa on your move, but after to no woman now. Oh, be beer and now on sense. Justice and law now moon show. The what the old part said the crowway in our media band, they say to say, and young man for Genibia, a yellow ya dark. Or Mutinibia. Said the Tibia, a becon to Palma, I'm aware of the ye nipa bebre a o ma dede o beka na fidie so a ye nyina ya te bi ye so ye ya dantidie ya testify ye busuafo ye nafofo nyina akọ sa situation mu a justice and law ejina a fight e bi kura 5 10 enso ya konto padin amene o manya bi a say amanfo ba be na wo mu ni e go so ko Ghana ni nyina ya justice and law sa inti lawyer ida wase any utireti mu aya na odeba Saturday bia wa amanso a obiehun se wo ma na tete ye dada me asan akutie ni ade nsem a yenya free wo nsem no eya ne doso enye irrigation nsem ko a efi asem ene nsem a social nsem a eku yegukuru ha ni nyina yenya bi free. That's right. Inti esrado for se mo ba Facebook for ni estrem mo like
na monse na amanfo nso nya biti na yi nyina ye mfa ntutu ye ho fo media lawyer me do this na me sram baby obia
one sham nyame enshira yeda wasipi eme se yese panyini edware via na chese enso panyini dware via na chese enso asa enti na eme se yedi dwumadie ne ebesi ano
lawyer
If so commercial dwumadie no ebesi ahano nyame ya adom so a next week de meet me ma ceremony sintria no due to some engagement binti no next Saturday me meet me ma the following week no beba ababe a program no nyame adom bibi e koso kama adom ya won kwam nyame ache ade o ya ade a oye ifi sifre ade fifi so aboye obi anhwe ne ho sie justice and law yedamase for your referrals and for your continual support nyame ensure mu nyina bede aseda ana eba mu nyina ti se area aseda na ema bode a ene na kimpaluta so eniye enti eye aseda na yede ema mu nyina momfa nyum yi entwa na ase
Ouch! Yeah. Nang kami dikika, ya kwanin pa me a pamimba. Pressure kwana me daminda. Beginning na me asido. They spit on my face, so they block our way, so yo. Now me na shirai, na shiro. Me say what you mamia, me say what you mao. Shira,